Yes, everybody, how are we all doing? Hope we're all good. Hope we're doing well. And yep, back for a second live today. And news is flying in everywhere, people. And I mean flying from all clubs. We've got Arsenal officially unveiled Madueke, which, you know, it is what it is. I'm not really bothered that much. I've said biggest news for Arsenal window is just Ethan Wanyeri signed new contract. That's the biggest news for me. So we've got Wanyeri, new contract. Might be linked with Xavi Simons, currently at RB Leipzig, PSG, PSV, and around 55 million is the deal. What could get it? Around 55 million is the price. What could get the deal over the line? But I still want Eze. Got Manchester United putting a 50 million price tag on Anthony's head because obviously he played well for Real Betis in the second part of the season. Isaac, is he saying yes to the Saudi Arabia League? I mean, it's getting heated now. Sesko, Man United might be looking at him. Don't think they can afford him. Liverpool getting close to signing Ekatike. Still might be on the way to signing Rodrigo as well. Wissa, where's he going? Where's Wissa going? Where's Johan Wissa going? Is he going to Tottenham? Will Newcastle grab him? It's getting a bit heated. It's getting a bit heated because Newcastle, if they end up selling Isaac, my God, you just don't know because you think to yourself, would you sell him? Would you take that money for him and get an absolute bucket load of money? Because I think they could get 180 million from the Saudi League, but I just don't think they will. I don't think they'll sell him. I don't think they'll do it, especially not now. When you look at it, you think they could go and sign 2 world-class strikers with that money. But I don't know because Isaac's Isaac, isn't it? I mean, how do you juggle this one? This one's tricky, man. I'd love to hear what Newcastle fans think. Will they sell Isaac this window? Arsenal, speaking of strikers, no. Still no striker at Arsenal Football Club. 3 seasons, by the way. I think Arsenal's allergic to strikers. And when it comes to signing a striker, just like in the thumbnail, Arsenal move like snails, man. They're just not bothered about signing striker. Will we get Gyökeres over the line? Yes, we probably will. But I keep saying that 10%, I'm 90% confident we'll, but the 10%, literally, it's only 10% where I think we might not get Gyökeres over the line. But that 10% in Arsenal style can be 1,000% because Sporting are asking basically for 8.6 million. And we're just not even doing it, man. We're just... I don't get it. I don't get it because it's a position what you need desperately, what you haven't had and haven't addressed for 3 years. And you've got one of the best strikers in the world, and we're still pissing around in Arsenal style like we do. Chris Welsh, big up, mate. Hope you're well and good. Had a good day. Yeah, good. Thanks, Chris Welsh. Hope you're well, my friend. Good to see you. Liverpool, Chris. Looks like Ekatike. He's getting serious. There's legs on it. It's legit. And Rodrigo. I think you're going to get Rodrigo. I really do. Because I think Diaz, and you'll tell me more, is getting very close to going to Bayern if they can just match the valuation. Because well, Arsenal are moving like Gemma Collins rushing for the bus. Yeah, exactly. And that would not be quick at all. She'd probably have to brush her hair about 10 times and check her makeup in a mirror. Because she's annoying, man. Gemma Collins is annoying. What does she call herself? What is it? So you have to address her by this. Fuck off about address her by that. Is it G Queen or something like that? Yeah, so chat, the footballing transfers are starting to really eat up now, and I can see it even next week going. Yeah, Chris Ross, Gemma loves hair flicks like Odegaard. Yeah, absolutely. Both got blonde hair as well. But even Wissa, where's this guy going? Where is Wissa going? Will Man United come and fetch Wissa? That's an interesting one. They've got Mbemo, and right now, guys, especially Arsenal fans, you might not want to hear this, but Manchester United, with signing Mbeumo, Brian Mbeumo, have a better attacking prowess than Arsenal. And people might say, no chance, no chance. But they do. They do. I went through this earlier on a quick little live I did. Mbeumo is better than Havertz, he's better than Trossard, he's better than Martinelli, he's better than Jesus. Cunha, better than Martinelli now. He's better than Trossard. He's better than Havertz. He's better than Jesus. Saka's better than both of them, yes. But they, right now, with Mbeumo and Cunha, have got two players what is better than Arsenal's attack. I keep saying this, and just when I say it, even when I think about it more and more, it really pisses me off that the biggest goal threat Arsenal have got in our attacking prowess still is Bukayo Saka. And he is not a striker. He's a complete right winger. He is Arsenal's biggest threat right now. That shouldn't be happening, people. No big club can say our right winger for third season, right now as it stands, 3 seasons in a row, and in this window, which will push it into a fourth, is our biggest goal threat. That's not how big clubs move, people. Like I keep saying, got one of the best strikers in the world right now, shouting from the Premier League in Portugal, sign me. Basically begging, pleading to sign me. And in typical Arsenal fashion, no, we're too good to meet you. You're not going to push us about. No, we do everything perfect at this club. No, it's all neat. It's all tidy. No. We're not going to let you take over. We've got a figure and we're sticking to it. Gets us nowhere, though, does it? We just do a nearly club. We don't get nowhere by being all nicey and getting the biggest fucking cuddles. And if that Tim Lewis, who is a co-chair of Arsenal Football Club, and apparently he's the one who just goes, tick, yep, we'll spend that much extra or whatever, or no, we're not going that far. No, it stops now. Then he, like I keep saying, didn't actually say it yesterday, could be the biggest prick at Arsenal Football Club right now. Tim Lewis, Arsenal's co-chair. The Arsenal Alliance, big up my friend. Go and subscribe to the Arsenal Alliance if you haven't. Chat. Add-ons is the problem. They want them to be easy, achievable, apparently. That's it, yeah, Alliance. I think they want 8.6 million in add-ons. But I seen something what did make me laugh. It was a sporting tweet on Twitter, and it said something like a sporting fan had said, Arsenal win Premier League with a laughing emoji. Arsenal win Champions League with a laughing emoji. And apparently that's what they want those... I think that's what they're saying, basically. They want these add-ons to involve that. Like if they were, and sporting fans were taking pisses and say Arsenal win Premier League, Arsenal win Champions League, no chance. Because Diaz had verbal agreement with Bayern weeks ago. It was just a fee that still needs agreed. Yeah, I think Chris, Diaz will go to Bayern in a 70 million deal. Could be way off. You tell me what you think on that. Because I think Wissa will want to play under Frank. Yep, at Tottenham. Again, even Tottenham, Solanke, Kudus, Wissa, Kulusevski. He's an absolute baller on his day if he stays fit. Son, absolute brilliant player when he stays fit. He might be coming to end of his career now. He might end up leaving. Don't know. He might go to Bayern just as an extra bit of a backup up front. But they've got Mateus Tell. Tottenham are stacked, mate. Tottenham are stacked. Right. FK Arsenal, big up my friend, hope you're well. Big up Rich. We need Eze if we want more attacking threat. Eze putting Saka through with Gyökeres in the box would give me goosebumps. Absolutely. If I seen Arsenal's lineup and it said, oh, let's just pretend we ain't got a left winger. Let's just pretend we do Arsenal typical fashion and we don't fully maximise and complete a window. Let's just pretend that happens. But if I seen a lineup and it was Gyökeres striker, Eze behind, Saka on right wing, already I look at that and think that's levels above from last season. Ideally, I want a full window completed. I don't want to keep seeing these windows. Oh, well, we just couldn't get that left winger. We just couldn't get that centre back. We've not fully maximised and completed one window with the Kroenkes and Arteta. So I do want to see that left winger. And who knows? Madueke could be a baller at Arsenal. But I do not want to take... Well, it's tough now because it's happened. But taking that risk of signing another Chelsea player just shows how inexperienced this manager is and people who he's got working around with him. You know, maybe they're not inexperienced, but they look like they're showing it. It looks like they're showing the way they're moving things. Like I said this earlier on, like Kroenke's are back to Arteta. I can't stand Kroenke's. I was talking about him in even 2010. I did not like him. I still don't like him. Obviously, they took full control in 2018. But I mentioned this earlier on. Upstairs, while Mikel Arteta's been at Arsenal, he's had no pressure whatsoever, man. Absolute zero pressure. He's not had Josh Kroenke end of season when he stood there, Mikel Arteta, the stubborn, smug prick, and said, don't be satisfied for a second. It's not good enough. We want much more, and we're going to get it. Don't be satisfied. Emphasis on those words. Don't be satisfied. Telling all the fans at the Emirates Stadium when there was one game away from winning the league against Everton. Obviously, Man City played West Ham that day, and they won. So, to me, and I think I mentioned this last night and all, because I will never get my head. I can't wrap my head around this. I just can't. So if that happens, and you look back and think, the games against Villa, you know, we just couldn't put ball at net against Fulham. You know, I think they were West Ham again that season. So then, as a group, you sit down and like the owner, where it starts, and I hate to say it, but he is the owner of our football club, Josh Kroenke, should have said, Mikel, I will give you money, but I need to know what you're going to do with that. Because it's his club, people. It's his club. I hate even saying that. I do. He would have wanted, if he was a proper owner and pressure above it, he says, I will give you money, but I want to step in and tell you that I want a striker at this club. I've looked back, you know, I've been to some games like that season, not many, but I've seen we're lacking a striker, Mikel. This football club needs a striker. So as the owner of this club, which he is, hate to say it, man, hate to say that, I'm telling you, I would like a striker at this football club. So I will give you money, but I need to know you start the season with a striker. And we need to take the onus and obviously the pressure off Bukayo Saka. He's been playing in World Cup even at 2018, 19, I think it was, when we had like Croatia. He needs some pressure off him. He's got no help. He's got no backup. So that's two positions, Mikel, I want you to address. Nah. I need money. Left back, Calafiori. Centre midfielder, Mikel Merino. No pressure from above. You know why? Because Josh Kroenke doesn't have a fucking clue. He does not have a clue. It's obvious. And then if he did do that in summer, and he didn't interfere, in January, when it was already starting with a thin squad and on top with injuries, he would have turned around. If he were a serious owner, if he were putting proper pressure on Mikel Arteta, he would have said, look, I've gave it benefit of doubt, you know, it didn't work in summer window, but I'm not asking now, Mikel. I am demanding. You will find me a striker at this club. I am the owner. He is. You will find me a striker at this club. You will get me a striker this window. No excuse. But we ain't got an owner like that, people. But Khalidun Muldoon Barrett, Man City's chairman / CEO, he would have been talking to Pep already. Throughout the season, looking and thinking, we're miles off it. You know, Liverpool's going to run away with this. You know, it looks like league's done for us. So in January, he's like, right, let's bring plans forward. Start signing players. Kushinov, Lens centre-back. Riz from Palmeiras, I think it was. I think he came from Palmeiras in Brazilian league. Nico Gonzalez used to play for Barcelona. We're at Porto for like 5 minutes and they fetched him from there. You know, signed Marmoush, who wasn't meant to be signed till the summer. Because the ambition was, okay, we accept the league's over. Liverpool's dog-walked Arsenal. They've dog-walked Man City. Arne Slot's just smashed it in his first season from Eberdise. But let's just try and see what we can do. So they even brought plans forward. Maybe not all those signings, but Marmoush was meant to be signed in the summer. And they went for it. Yeah, it didn't come to fruition. But their idea of thinking was, we will finish second. We are still going to go for second. We accept we can't win league now, and we want the FA Cup. We don't want to go trophyless. It didn't work. People. They didn't succeed. But that's their ambition. Whereas Josh Kroenke, He was in and around London through January. Nothing. There's no pressure above. I'm hoping it starts to happening. But right now, this Mikel Arteta's got no pressure from above. It's like he's treated like royalty, and he's got fans what are just obsessed with him in every single way. Anything he does, says and wants, they are obsessed with him. Right, I'll just read these. Yeah, and like I say, man, absolutely. The Arsenal Alliance, exactly. The Arsenal Alliance, Usmanov would have been better, in my opinion. Yeah, Alicia Usmanov, Arsenal Alliance. We don't know what he could have done. It could have been 20 times worse than the Cronkies, but we should have gave him a chance. The Cronkies wouldn't even let Usmanov get a chair at the table. They would not. They were blocking him out of everything. And he even said, my first thing, I want to plough money. I want to put money into the playing side of the things. As soon as he probably said that, I bet Kroenke was like, whoa, shit. No, we're not letting you do that. We're not letting you do something good for the club. But they blocked him out. They just won't let him. They just would not let him on. They wouldn't even give him a chair at the table. FK Arsenal, sorry for my language, but fuck second, I would first fed up with... Yeah, FK, say what you want in this channel, my friend. I've already said when we see those idiots what join it, chat, and they just talk about stuff what's got no relation to football or sport or anything, and they're asking daft questions, then I'm just not even going to entertain it. But don't worry about swearing. I swear sometimes. It's especially when you talk about Arsenal, it's hard not to. So FK Arsenal, I'm going to read this now because that S, the dollar sign, kind of blocks on my phone. It kind of stops me from seeing that part. So for my language, but fuck second, I want first. Fed up with second, absolutely. I am. FK, I am sick of it, mate. But yet you still get these Arsenal fans, FK. You still get these Arsenal fans, preferably Mikel Arteta fans, what are obsessed with him. Look how far we've come. Look what we've done. 8th, 5th, and now we're into second. Well, that's under Mikel Arteta with those other positions I've just said. We were turmoil before Mikel Arteta. No, we was not. If they'd have gave Unai Emery another year and gave him what Arteta has spent, I guarantee you, Henry, definitely don't want Thierry Henry as manager. Don't want another Arsenal player or anyone around this club to be a manager. See, look, we've got a weirdo here, a sado. Would you rather? Yeah, what a mong. What a div. Yeah, so, what we're saying then, when I've just got rid of that full, what were I saying then? Oh yeah, these Arsenal fans, like what you just said, FK, sick a second. But if you tell some of these Arsenal, these these fans what are obsessed with Arteta, oh no, look where we've come under Arteta, look what we've done. It's like they're happy with average. We do not even get to Wembley no more. Every Saturday, when them Saturdays turn up, and everybody's tuned into TV, it's normally red hot on FA Cup final day, and everyone's buzzing. It's good atmosphere. You're watching it, and it's the same feeling for us fans with passion, like me, you, yourself, and other people in chat. We're just watching another team. All eyes are on them two teams, and it ain't Arsenal. It's not Arsenal's running around pitch and with trophy in hand, celebrating up, fans are jumping up, singing, they just lifted trophy in front of fans. It's not Arsenal to do that. We don't even get to finals. We don't even get to Wembley. But yet, apparently, everything's all brilliant under Mikel Arteta. Well, it is not. It's far from brilliant. Just because we've finished second, no one gives a shit about keep finishing second. No one remembers it. Ten Hag winning FA Cups for Man United. They remember that. It won't. Oh yeah, Arsenal finished second. Yeah, but who won FA Cup? Yeah, Man United. What did Arsenal win? Fuck all. Nothing. Arsenal don't win football. Arsenal don't win trophies. It's as simple as that. Right now, Arsenal Football Club don't win trophies, and they don't get to Wembley. It's as simple as that. We're just a nearly team, and the big pretenders, as I call us, because we do all this glamorizing bollocks and, you know, big everything up the way. Oh, every signing we make, male or female, please win the dog. Do you know what I mean? Like I said this earlier on and all, love dogs. Majority of people do. I've had 3 dogs myself. To me, the best pets you can have. But every female we sign, every must put it out there. They've got to get it out there on social media. They've got to show everybody, all the world, the clubs, you know, what the other clubs, the fans from other teams. You have to see us. Look, we have to show you any male or female who we signed. They have to win the dog. And yet other clubs are just looking, thinking, well, don't they look stupid? You know why? Because they win frick all. They win nothing. They gaslight everything, you know, they glamorize it. Look, we've got to see the dog again. They've signed a female or a male, and they're showing us this dog, this chocolate Labrador. But end of season, they're just watching other teams pick trophies up. So no one gives a shit. But Arsenal seem to think doing things like that will like keep a hold on, like that's their kind of not trophy, but their kind of way to impress other teams. And they couldn't give a crap. Other teams and you know, fans from other clubs just laugh at it, thinking it's pathetic. You know, you don't win anything, Arsenal. All these light bulbs and pickpocketers and on different tables and what it said earlier on. Someone said it. I don't know if it ran to the air, but on about they were doing yoga in training or something like that, and it's just embarrassment. It literally is showing all these things, because it gets, obviously now in this world we live in with social media, it goes viral in seconds. And if we were winning trophies, you know, and winning a trophy every single season, winning the Premier League or winning the Champions League, or if we didn't win Champions League, we win FA Cup and then maybe win League or whatever, for God's sake, they could be cuddling at half time, Arsenal players, you know. They could do a dance or whatever. And they might look idiots, you know. They might look stupid, but they could look and turn around and say, and what? We're champions, mate. We always win trophies at the end of the season. But we don't win nothing. So other teams and other fans from other clubs just look at us and think, you just look idiots, because you don't win anything. And it puts an embarrassment on the club. Like, they're trying to impress people by doing things like having a dog and pickpocketers, you know, and all this. It is embarrassing, because we win nothing. We don't even get to Wembley. The Arsenal Alliance, he tried to buy them out. Yeah, he did. Never going to happen, though. Kroenke's no chance. Chris Welsh, what the F? Yeah, I think you're on about that idiot earlier on. Jamie, hi, Jamie. You're good. Good to see you in the chat. FK Arsenal, does fans don't realise Arteta put us in 8th? Wenger never finished 8th once in his last 5 seasons. Absolutely. Jamie, bye. Jamie, hi. Jamie, bye. Boring. Jamie, boring. Get a life. Where are we? Yeah, Chris Welch, it's weird, man. Just boring. The Arsenal Alliance, I've never seen a fan base so divided. Absolutely. Honestly, and this is the thing, like the type of fans we've attracted. And I say this is that they've clicked on, they've gone on the social media and thought, who gets a lot of traction here? Do you know what I mean? Who gets a lot of a notice? You know, And they've probably thought, right, Arsenal Football Club, let me just put something out there on a tweet or whatever, or on Instagram or Facebook. Next minute, it's gone viral. You know, they've said something, it's probably bullshit, like, I don't know, Kai Havertz will score 25 league goals this season for Arsenal. Bang. Next minute, loads of followers, you know, on X, on Twitter, on Instagram, or Facebook. And it's just travelled and travelled and travelled and travelled. And then they think, right, that's just got my followers up to thousands straight away. I'm in. I've brainwashed so many vulnerable fans. I can say what I want. And that's it. And then next minute, you see him on TalkSport. You see him on TV. Like I said earlier on with that, you know, I've mentioned this before a lot of times. No, that idiot went on TV and made a mockery of Arsenal Football Club, getting asked simple questions by Jamie Carragher, and he didn't know. And the lazy attitude of what these fans are, who are just, you know, some of them are so young and they've got such a lazy attitude. Oh, I'm too young to know that. I'm meant to know that. I'm too young. No, because you've never done your history about Arsenal Football Club, pal. That's why. Because all it is, it's just a laugh. It's just a laugh to you. It's just a big game to you. Same as loads others. You're just in it for yourself, for your own self-benefit, not for the love of Arsenal Football Club. You've never seen those Coca-Cola Cup final days against Sheffield Wednesday, Alan Smith / Smudger against Palmer, Anelka Overmars against Newcastle FA Cup, you know, Tony Adams scoring that famous goal against Everton. That don't mean nothing to you. All it is to you is self-benefit from just making sure your platforms on social media just grow and grow and grow by speaking bullshit every single day. It's same with Igal, same with that Alex, it's same with Roy Talks Football. It's all a game to them because they've brainwashed that many fans. Same with that prick on Twitter, Eduardo Agan, you know, saying something already about Madueke. Something about love or something. Mickey Thomas, 89 against Liverpool, Anfield. Absolutely. We were never, ever, ever meant to score 2 goals at Anfield against Liverpool. No chance. But we did. You know, Merce playing that game, Rocky Roadcastle. Paul Davis might have played. Kevin Richardson, I think. It's a shame. You know, Charlie George lays on floor, FA Cup final, 71 against Liverpool. These guys shouldn't be allowed to get all these gigs on TalkSport and be on Sky TV, because I've said this before, and I said it earlier on. If we had that group, who I call it, at Arsenal, it was not perfect, I get that, but if we still had Lady Nina Bracewell-Smith, Peter Hillwood, Danny Fritzman, Keith Elderman, the legend David Dean, I don't know if Ken Fryer is 6. This won't be happening. You would not see these kind of people on TV because they would look at it, and obviously social media wasn't around like that, you know, when these people were at Arsenal. But they would look at it and think, are you leeching off our club? If you are, you're not part of it no more. I'll just get the Arsenal Alliance night, bro. Night Arsenal Alliance. Please go and subscribe to the Arsenal Alliance if you already haven't, people. FC always, we are family. I got all the Chelsea. FC always, we are family. I got all the Chelsea jobs. Yeah, I'll see that last part in a minute. FC always, big up FC always. Hope you're well, my friend. Hope you're good. And yeah, you know, they would not allow it if they somehow seen like that kid, if you want to call that Alex, on Sky TV making a mockery of our club. They would be like, right, you are not welcome at the Emirates no more. I'm you know, this is just a wild scenario, but I am 99% confident that group I just mentioned, Bracewell-Smith, Hillwood, Elderman, Fritzman, Fryer, Dean, the legend Dave Dean, I think people like that, who they've seen on Sky TV making a mockery of their club, our club, they would have been like, you're not getting away with that. You're not welcome. They would probably ban them from coming to the Emirates because that would hurt them. That would hurt them. Those 6, that was Arsenal. You know, that was Arsenal. Yes, he wasn't perfect. David Dean sold his shares, but that would hurt that group. Definitely. Hillwood, Fryer. I think Ken Fryer's still alive. And he's about nearly 90, I think. I'm not sure, but he's very, very old. Fritzman, God bless. Hillwood, God bless, they're gone. But they won't stand for that. And people might not think that's nothing, but it is to me, because that group, that bundle, they wouldn't be tolerating that. They would not be allowing people like that to be at Emirates or get any free gigs or get in post-match interviews. They'd be out. They'd ban the lot. They would not want those people in and around Arsenal, because they're like, you have just made a mockery of our club on TV. You are not welcome. I don't know if anyone else thinks that in chat, but I personally think they would. They would not allow it. If they seen it, they'd be like, don't you even enter the Emirates Stadium. You're banned. But now it's like, oh, we love that. That's all big cuddles and smiles for Arsenal Football Club. Nicey. This is kind of the kind of fan what this club has attracted, where they've clicked on and thought, if I post something, that'll build traction. FK Arsenal 1983. I was at the game against Liverpool 1989. Wow, bet that was amazing. As a 7-year-old with mum and granddad, does wear the good days. Yeah, man, that's FK. That's what a fantastic memory. What a brilliant memory. FC always. This Gyökeres situation pissing me off. Apparently now it's 2.5 million now. Just pay the effing money. Fucking, I know, mate. Honestly, AFC, it's disgusting. It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing. But I ain't shocked, because this is just what our club do. Honestly, it's like they just kill the excitement out the transfers. Arsenal literally are a mood killer. They kill the excitement out of signing players. Like if we unveiled and presented Gyökeres tomorrow in an Arsenal shirt, I'd be like, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him in an Arsenal shirt, but that's it. Because when I heard Sunday night we're closing in on him, I expected by Tuesday we would be presenting him with an Arsenal shirt. Nah, not this club, not this club. We don't do things like that. We are an absolute embarrassment when it comes to getting players over line. But we've made sure we've done what we always do. Top Chelsea's transfer window up, and they are going to use it. They will sign someone. AFC always, Arteta spent 130 million just on Chelsea dross. He has. I've seen that earlier on. And you know what, AFC? Not one of them's worked. Not one of them. But he keeps doing it. He keeps going back over and over and over and over and over again. But apparently, everybody has to back Madueke now. Like I keep saying, do you think Man City would keep going to Liverpool and signing their players? Or Liverpool keep going to Man City and signing their players? No. No chance. No chance. I bet even other clubs are thinking, my God, is Arsenal got a weird obsession with Chelsea Football Club? Other clubs will be taking note and thinking, very strange that Arsenal keep paying money to the London rivals and rivals on the pitch as well. The FC always thank the Lord Madueke didn't get the number for. Absolutely, that would have pissed even more people off. They wouldn't have liked that at all. FC always Man U got the here we go and Bemo over before us on the Gyökeres. Absolutely, FC always yeah. They've got Cunha over at line. They've got Gyökeres. I know people say, oh well, we've got Kepa. We've got just literally about touching distance of Masquera. We've got Norgard, Zubamendi, Madueke. Do you like FC always? And I can imagine what you're going to say. No, I don't see no extra strength up front. Not at all. I see a player what's been brought in to back Saka up who could not get in the Chelsea team. That's all I see. What's been brought. The area, what needed to be completely addressed. No pissing around. No leaving a left wing position, unaddressed, or no backup for Odegaard unaddressed. All I see is a right winger, a backup for Saka, which will probably be transferred to the left wing. That's all I see. A player what's been brought from Chelsea, can't even get in the team. That's all we've done up top. But yet the area, what has been neglected for 3 seasons, and Arsenal still have done nothing to address it. So when people keep telling me my club are serious and we're moving big, no, we're not. No, we are not. You have an area what you've neglected and you still don't go full throttle. What does this club need to do? What is the biggest wake-up call this club needs to say, for fuck's sake, Arsenal's attack is shit, shambolic and boring. We've got one player as it currently stands, who's Arsenal's biggest threat, and that's our right winger, Bukayo Saka. And I've said this at the start of chat. So when people keep telling me, making big moves, making big waves, are we bollocks? No, we're not. No, we are not. We've signed a player who not one Arsenal fan, I guarantee not one, would have said, I want Madueke in summer. I can't wait. I really hope we do sign Madueke. I hope we push for Madueke. Not one Arsenal fan would have said that. And if they did, they're lying. They're lying. And right now, like I said, our attacking prowess is shambolic. Man United have got a better attack than Arsenal Football Club because they've got Mbemo and Cunha, and they are better than all our attack apart from Saka. It's not acceptable, people. It's not. But you've got so many fans what are just obsessed with Mikel Arteta, what just anything he does once and says, or even in the Kroenke, can't say a word because I feel if I say something, I might be in trouble. They might shout at me. Arteta might message me or email me. I might get in trouble if I say something. Why can't they just grow up a little bit and see Mikel Arteta couldn't give 2 shits about you as a person? Why do they have to have a strange affiliation with him? He couldn't give a crap about you. The Kroenkes couldn't give a shit about you. You could be homeless tomorrow. Do you think Mikel Arteta is going to come and save you? Or the Kroenke is going to come and save you? They couldn't give a crap. Not one shit about you. So this window to me is no. No, it's no. It's a no from me. 3 out of 10 at the most. Gyökeres takes it to a 6. If he finishes, if he signs and that's the window finish, then it's just a 6 out of 10. But you've got all these fans. How can you call it a 6 out of 10? We've done this, we've done that. Well, where's my left winger then? You show me where's the left winger what's guaranteed to score goals for us. Show me where the backup is for Martin Odegaard, where they'll bring more creativity and score goals. Show me, but they can't, because the fact is they're not there. The actual facts are we do not have a good goal scoring left winger right now, and we have no backup for Odegaard, or hopefully, wishfully thinking, someone what can take Odegaard's place. And that person is Eze, who majority of Arsenal fans want. People, I'm just going to turn my fan on. It's warm again tonight in here. FC always. Arteta signed 7 Chelsea players in 6 seasons. Here's a blue. Yeah. Is it because you know? Oh, 1 second. Absolutely, FC always. You know, is it because? Because it's going back to his Everton days, or is it his Rangers days? I don't know, but it's weird, man. It is weird that you would want to keep giving money to your rival. To me, again, that just shows. But again, won't have anything said about him. But to me, that's factually showing just inexperience of a manager. He was behind this Madueke deal. Apparently, he was the one what really pushed for it. Why? That just shows his inexperience. That you keep signing players, Mikel, from Chelsea. Which bit do you not understand? It's not working. This one might work. Madueke might be freaking brilliant for Arsenal. But you do not keep taking that risk when we are meant to be winning a league. You need to start showing how serious you are. And I'd say showing how serious you are as a manager. But he's just showing his inexperience is just shining through. You just would not keep signing a player from your rivals who you are making stronger, because with our money they're gonna use it and sign someone with that. And there's talk is Xavi Simons, and apparently he wants to come to the Premier League. So if they go and sign Simons, they are absolutely stacked already in the front line, and it could be even worse with Simons. Apparently Arsenal's looking at him. But I want Eze. But then I've seen on Twitter already, you've got these young kids. Some of them don't even look old enough to be on there. And they're talking like they know about football. And it's one of Eduardo Agen's little kind of puppets on about, it's got the Simmons, the dynamism of him and all that. Fucking hellfire. God, just because he's seen like Agen post something, he's kind of following suit and trying to impress him. It's honestly, we have got some of the most worst, embarrassing football fans. And everyone knows this and all. They really do. That's why Arsenal Football Club get peppered so much, because of what we see with these fans. With the club, win the dog, then fans up on Sky TV. But to the people who do it, it's just nothing. It's just a game to me. I'm not bothered about doing that. Nah, it don't matter. I'll make a mockery of Arsenal Football Club. Don't matter. As long as I get a lot of traction and more followers, that's all I'm bothered about. So transfers are hotting up, people. Diaz, Isaac, and Bemo, Sesko, Man United. Can Man United somehow sign Sesko? I don't know how it's possible, because I just don't think they've got enough assets to kind of make this deal happen. I just don't think they could do this. But with Cunha and Mbemo, Man United are a lot stronger up top. And I keep saying it. I've probably said it 400 times already. They've got a better attack than Arsenal Football Club right now as it currently stands, Man United. Saka is the only biggest threat for Arsenal, and we can say we know what he does, and he's a right winger, and he's our biggest threat. Not acceptable, people. Not acceptable one bit. Assembled, big up to you. Hope you're well, my friend. Good to see you. Evening, everyone. Assemble, what are you saying? Gyökeres just getting boring now, even if he signs, and we haven't seen a strike at this club for 3 seasons, it just feels to me like, and I've bitched, moaned, got frustrated, with no strike for 3 seasons. Every season I've been saying it. But if he signed tomorrow, I'd be like, yeah, it is what it is now. Do you get that feeling? Is that how do you get the vibes, chat? Because that's how I feel now with these transfers with Arsenal. I just feel like it passes by. It passes by. Can't even get. How many windows do you get the chance to have one of the best strikers in the world shouting to sign me from the Premier League? And I'm just going to keep saying it. How many windows do you get that lucky? Where in that position, you haven't had that position addressed for 3 seasons, and you've just got one of the best wanting to sign for your football club. Apparently, he's even asking Arsenal, "What are you doing?" I think the way I read it, and I've seen something later on, he is basically asking Arsenal, "What is just get this deal over the line." He literally hates Sporting Lisbon right now, and he is begging for Arsenal Football Club to sign him. And there's nobody, and I mean nobody, what can tell me that Wheels not going the extra mile, let's say 8.6 for add-ons. There's no justifiable reason what anyone can say to me, well, we can't do that because of that. I would love for someone even to come in my chat and tell me why we can't do that. Because if you say something, I think it'll be a lie. Because we've got loads of money and we can definitely stretch 8.6 million. Definitely. Assembled question: do you think that if Gyökeres was signed before Noni, he wouldn't be getting the flack he's currently getting? Do you think if Gyökeres was signed before Noni? Well, Assembled, that's a good question. That is, because yeah, you know, if we'd have signed Eze, let's just go even one step further. Let's say we'd sign Eze, yeah, and we sign Gyökeres. Ideally, like I said, I want to see a window for the first time under Arteta and the Cronkies fully maximised and made sure it's complete. No position unaddressed this time, nothing. That left winger needs to be signed as well. But let's just say what you've just said there. Let's say we got Gyökeres in, yeah, and we even got Eze in, and we just said, right, we are closing the window with Madueke as a last signing. More Arsenal fans would be like, I didn't see that coming, but it is what it is, you know, and kind of accepted it. But what we would be saying is, oh, for frick's sake, another Chelsea player. How many more times are we going to keep making this mistake? So that it would soften the blow a little bit if we'd already signed, even if we just like what you said, even if we just signed Gyökeres and then we're going to sign Madueke, and then we did finish, you know, the window on Eze, even though we need a left winger as well. I'm sticking to that. We need goals from everywhere now. So if, you know, we'd sign Gyökeres and then we sign Madueke, you know, more fans, even like myself, would have been like, so we're giving more money to Chelsea Football Club to go and sign them players, and every player we've signed from Chelsea, it hasn't worked. So it's showing Mikel Arteta's inexperience again, because he is the man behind this Madueke deal. But I would be like, it is what it is. We've got Gyökeres, he's a goal machine. Madueke, did I want him? No. Ask any single Arsenal fan, did they want Madueke in this window? No. And I mean no. Every single fan of Arsenal would not one Arsenal fan would have said, I want to sign Madueke from Chelsea. One, because they won't think he's good enough. Two, because why would you keep giving money to your London rivals? And rivals now are coming good again, and they are going to be on our toes this season. I still think they will finish above us this season. So, yeah, I mean, if we'd have got Gyökeres first, it would have been a little bit different, but still kind of not acceptable. Bethel, hi. Hope you're well. Good to see you in the chat. Hope you're doing well. Christian Cotero, Castellares. Emojis. Please smash up the likes and subscribe, people, if you already haven't. So it's like we were talking about this last night in stream. You're never going to get the full perfect balance with Arteta and the Cronkies, because I don't think Mikel Arteta knows how to. I don't think he knows how to get a perfect balance. Otherwise, he would have done it. How do you be going into your 6th year in November, December, and still having to sign around, well, at least 6 players in one window? If you've been in a job that long as a manager, obviously football manager, you would then be like, we're at that level now where we need 1 or 2 signings. We don't need to be signing 6, 7 players, 5, 6, 7 players, but it's every single window. And the complete reason is, the factual reason is, not making it up. Like I said, when we talk, me and others, we're not making it up. It's either happened. Mikel Arteta's looked at us, told us this, don't be satisfied with second, etc. The facts are that Mikel Arteta has never, ever fully maximised and completed one transfer window. That is why we are still needing so many signings every single window, because he will always leave positions unaddressed. Don't be satisfied with second. What's he going to do in that window? When the whole world, every single man and his dog, woman and his dog, fans from other clubs, pundits, commentators, everybody knew when we did not win that league with the last game of the season against Everton, when he stood there, the prick, and said, don't be satisfied with second. We want much more. We're going to get it. The perfect solution would be the simplest, just not rocket science at all, evident to everybody. You would go and sign a striker and a backup for Saka. You would sign a striker what wins you football matches, like the games against Fulham, West Ham, where we were shit, against Aston Villa, where he played Kai Havertz in midfield. That's just what Arteta will do. Do anything to benefit himself rather than Arsenal Football Club. Rather take a risk himself. And you just think, how are you starting another season without a striker? How are you starting a season without a striker and a backup to help Bukayo Saka? That did not work, which we knew it didn't work. Thin squad to start with. Then Saka gets a massive injury, which you knew he would. And, there we go. So Mikel Arteta has brought so many problems to this football club. It's probably caused Saka a burnout. So has Gareth Southgate playing in for England and Arsenal. We hadn't had a striker for 3 seasons when we had chances to win the league, the best chances, because we are not going to win the Premier League this season. It's not happening. It's not going to happen, because in order for that to happen, if we close the window with Gyökeres, he has to score at least 22 Premier League goals in his first season. Madueke has to score 12 Premier League goals. Saka has to score 12 to 15 Premier League goals. Odegaard has to score about 6 or 7. Martinelli has to score about 8. Kai Havertz has to score about 9 or 10. I don't have trust in any single one of them apart from Gyökeres and Saka. Nwaneri will not get much game, I don't think, but he scored 9 goals last season. One of Arsenal's best players. I don't have trust in this manager, people. I do not like Mikel Arteta as a manager. I don't like him as a person. If he can go live on TV in a post-match against PSG and talk to a female reporter and basically lie on TV, that's our manager, by the way. This would never happen. Arsene Wenger wouldn't do this. Arsene Wenger, his interviews did get a bit, don't say that, Arsene, but that guy's got doubles to back it up. He's got, titles, FA Cups. He's an invincible. Yes, he might have, in his last 10 years, I wanted him gone. He really did get stale. But Mikel Arteta is a stubborn, smug prick, as me and Peppermint always say. And that is what I say. I've even said it on Twitter, stubborn, smug prick, or even arrogant as well. He stood there in front of the whole world, semi-final against PSG, and this is how much of a stubborn, smug prick he really is, talking to a female reporter, and he said, yeah, they said we were better. Sorry? She could not believe what she heard, saying, sorry? Who said you was a better team? And he went like this. The PSG bench, Enrique, couldn't even look at her in the eyes. Could not face her. He was like, the PSG team, Enrique said, couldn't even look straight at her. And she was probably laughing her head off. Do you really want that guy as your manager? Who knows that he was beaten quite easily and gave Enrique no headache whatsoever. And I'll tell you a little reason why he didn't give him an headache, because he brought Ramos on, who from signing from Benfica, which he'll probably be going into his 3rd season now at PSG, he brought him on as if to say, this is boring, Mikel. You're not giving me anything. There's no different dimension. You're not playing faster. You're not putting 2 up front. Obviously we didn't have, but you're not doing anything. You're not pushing extra bodies up. It's easy to deal with. I have no headache. let me bring Ramos on, who hardly gets a kick from me. And there you go. There you go. Right. ADF. I mentioned before, but realistically, Arsenal not winning European Cup or Premier League, I think Rashford and Nunes would be good signings for a top 4 or 5 push. Not for me, ADF. ADF, I mentioned before, but realistically, Arsenal not winning the European Cup or Premier League, I think Rashford and Nunes will be good signings for top. Well, I want my club to win Premier League and obviously Champions League, but I kind of see what you're saying with that point. I think you're classing as a top 4 and 5 team, which, yeah, you've got a right to. But to me, it's a middle finger to the fan base. The one thing the supporters want is a striker. So in their wisdom, they've decided to drag their feet. No customer. Absolutely. Good point, December. Yeah, as if to say, shut up. We do what we want. And as if it's just like that. Yeah. We'll keep you waiting because we want it, because it's kind of like going to prove Mikel Arteta wrong, probably. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. But like I said, the co-chair of Arsenal Football Club, Tim Lewis, he might be the one what's holding this up. He could be the biggest prick right now at this club. Peppermint, good to see you, my friend. Hope you are well. Arteta is a stubborn, smug prick. Absolutely. I can hear myself just saying that, because that's why I love calling him that. And he is. You know, he's very stubborn. He's smug. And he's arrogant, you know, and he's a prick. Even when his interviews, if he says something, you can see him like tensing up and getting his face getting tighter. Peppermint Frida, when the reporter said Arteta's name to Enrique, he just laughed, says it all. Yeah. And you know what, Peppermint, my friend, Enrique even came out and says, Aston Villa gave us a problem, Liverpool gave us a problem, but Arsenal, not really, no. Nuno Espirito Santo, Forest manager, not directly at Mikel Arteta, but Martin Keown. What do we need to change for? Arsenal ain't got a striker. Why do we need to change formation? Do you know what I mean? Iriola, done double over him. Done the double over Mikel Arteta. Hertzler, you know, came from the Bundesliga. I think he managed a first division team in the German league. 32-year-old, which I think is still the youngest manager in the Premier League. Hertzler, Mikel Arteta. No, 2 draws for Brighton. Mikel Arteta, I will tell you now, and I am no expert whatsoever. I'm just not. I've played football myself, you know, from 7 to 14, Charleston, Norwich City, etc. or striker. So it's not like I haven't kicked a ball in my life. I had a decent career from a nipper to a teenager. You know, and the things what you see is just like anyone knows it. It's just basic. It's basic. You think you can really go a season and still not sign a striker? And that's where his stubborn, smug prick kind of self comes into it, because he will probably think, I'm that stubborn. I reckon I can win league for Arsenal Football Club without a striker. He will look at that and think, I can do one better than Arsene Wenger. You know, he's won doubles, he's won an Invincible, but I can go and win that league without a striker. That's what honestly, that is, in a nutshell, that is factually correct. Arteta would rather do things to benefit himself than Arsenal Football Club. He would rather take a risk than think, what if that repercussion happens, you know, and it goes tits up and just goes completely pear-shaped and just capitulates completely. But he's not bothered, people. Mikel Arteta would rather take that risk himself rather than do something to benefit Arsenal Football. Like, you know, we're on course to win it title. Puts Kai Havertz in midfield against Aston Villa when we're coming to the back end of the season. He is not bothered as long as it suits himself. Now, this is crazy, but it wouldn't surprise me if he's called Tim Lewis up and said, store the Gyökeres deal. Keep stalling it. I want Sesko. Could be completely wrong on that one, but this is how I think what Mikel Arteta's like. And it's not mad You know, it's not crazy scenarios. It's just what we've seen him do. Peppermint Freedom, my top gooner mate, on the WhatsApp today, linked the Madueke interview and said he had an elite mentality. We are finished as a club in the fact. Oh, God. I mean, like I say, I could even go back again and mention that twat, what went on Sky. But I can't keep repeating myself like that because I'll even get bored of myself. But it makes you want to talk about it over and over again. Like, there's so many facts what we speak, and we don't make things up. It's either we've seen it on TV, Mikel Arteta stood there, even at Emirates or in interviews, and said it. Josh Kroenke said it, you know, or it's just happened. And, you know, we keep giving money to Chelsea. I don't give money to Chelsea. People in chat, Peppermint's not, AFC always not, you know. That's what Arsenal Football Club doing. So when we call it out and say, you're negative, you can't say that. What you're about that? No, bro. What do you mean, no, bro, you're negative? It's happened. We are funding Chelsea's window every single season. And they are going to be even better this season. And in my opinion, we've made Chelsea, not with what they've signed already, but if they go and sign like a Simmons or Eze or something, we've made Chelsea, I would say 90% confident they're finishing above Arsenal. And they could push maybe Liverpool or Man City. But they need a goalkeeper and a centre-back. And if they sort that out, well, what they've got top, I mean, João Pedro, to me, it looks like he could bang 17 Premier League goals in this season. If Cole Palmer turns up and plays like the season, not what's just gone, but one before that, he's quite capable of getting 20 Premier League goals. He's ice cold, people. When he's on it, Cole Palmer is fantastic. And his finishing is just, it's unreal at times. He makes it look absolutely easy. And I mean easy. Right. Peppermint. And this top gooner is older than me and was going through the 90s. I just don't get it. I don't Peppermint. I don't get it. I've seen some people like that with that age, and you know, when they, I don't know. Is it an obsession with Mikel Arteta? I have no idea. But it's a shame. It's a shame. Like I keep saying, all these people, what used to be at Arsenal, Lady Nina Bracewell Smith, Ken Fryer, Peter Hillwood, Keith Elderman, Danny Fritzman, and legend David Dean. I miss them at Arsenal Football Club. I know they wasn't perfect, and obviously David Dean selling shares and that, but we're miles off having that group like that. They was Arsenal, people. That group of 6 was Arsenal. Even I remember the Sol Campbell signing. They were all there. I think it were David Dean, Peter Hillwood, Arsene Wenger, and it might have been David Dean, Peter Hillwood, Arsene Wenger, and I think it was Danny Fritzman. And Fritzman and Hillwood are no longer with us. You know, they've passed. What we got? Assembled. There's a lot of footage of Jesus and Havertz worrying coming out of Arsenal. Assembled. Are you on about the video with Jesus training, building his strength back up, which we've seen plenty of times with a knee injury? I wish we could get him fit now and sell him, because Saudis would spend 30 million on Jesus. Frank Leahy, you sound crazy. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Peppermint. Frank, what do you mean by that? Peppermint Freedom. Those bastions of old Arsenal, those bastions of old Arsenal would not be stood for this. No, Cliff Baston, you know, Herbert Chapman, you know, like I said, Charlie George, I know he does the tour around Emirates. Frank McClintock, you know, Liam Brady. Like I said, Peppermint, I don't know if you heard it, my friend, earlier on. Have I got a point with saying, like, if we still had that with 6, I've just mentioned Bracewell Smith, Fryer, Hillwood, Elderman, Dean, and who's the other one? Fritzman. If they were still in and around Arsenal Football Club now, that's what I want to ask. Do you think, like, I don't know if you've seen that idiot what went on Sky, getting all those questions asked to him, and they were simple. Jamie Carragher were asking him, what's it called? Is it overlay? Is it something like that? I can't remember what it's called now. Jamie Carragher's asking all those questions to him. Do you think if those people who I've just mentioned, those 6 used to be at Arsenal, do you think like if they'd have seen that on TV now, they would have been pissed off? Because basically, that idiot who went on Sky made a overlap. That's it. Made a mockery of Arsenal Football Club. I personally think those 6 would have said, "You're not welcome at Emirates. You've just gone on live TV and made a twat of Arsenal Football Club." The whole world, not all world, but so many thousands and millions probably seen that video. Look at Arsenal. Look at what fans they've got. I don't think the group I keep mentioning, David Dean, etc. I don't think they'd have I don't think they'd allowed him back at Emirates. I think they'd have been like, "You're not welcome. We stand proud at Arsenal Football Club. We don't want an idiot, making a mockery of us." I think they would have banned him. Excuse me. Everybody was shot. Carragher was shot. You got fans from other teams like. They were even answering questions for him, man. Even answering the questions for him. And I wasn't old enough. I don't know. I wasn't old enough. I mean, it's just disgusting in football is kind of a bit of a dramatic word, but it really is disgusting. It's embarrassing because these twats get to live like a bit of a glamorous life where they get the gigs on TalkSport and he goes on Sky TV. You don't deserve that. You don't deserve to be on. You don't deserve to be representing my football club, your football club. Not at all. They are an embarrassment to Arsenal Football Club, and they proved it in facts. The whole world seen it. Not all world, but thousands seen it. It was shared all over Twitter. And as it happened, fans was laughing as if to say, "Are you being serious, bro?" You're getting asked simple questions like, "Where did Patrick Vieira come from? What club?" I think he said something about. I think he said, "Where did Wenger come from?" He said Monaco. I mean, it's just that the only way this will stop is new owners, and then they'll be like, "Wow, we can't just share all this, on Twitter what we do and Instagram, because it will be the ethos will be different at Arsenal Football Club if we somehow, and I don't know how, but I always think, how can we get new owners? But if we somehow got new owners, things like this would not be happening because they just wouldn't. They might sack the social media team or anything. I just want to wipe the freaking lot out. Wipe the lot out. Unless I see Gyökeres, left winger, and Eze. I am not accepting a window what's not been fully addressed this one. I've not seen a window fully maximised and completed with the Kroenkes and Arteta. I'm not asking for much. I'm asking for what Peppermint, you and others, AFCOs, and all the other people in my chat. We're not asking for. We're just asking for what we were being told. When we moved to the Emirates in 2006, we will compete with the teams all over the world, the elite teams all over the world, on the pitch and off the pitch. And we haven't. We have not. Yeah, we might turn up with a Nicolas Pepe signing, we might turn up with a Declan Rice and Havertz. Then it's time to put your feet up and stop, because Kroenkes are like, that's how it goes. It's all we need. Make sure the fans are a bit happy. Got new Arteta fans on our side, who just obsess over him, and don't work like that. Maximise every window, then you can say, we just need 1 or 2 this window. We're going to have a player probably leaving. Example, Kivior leaves. Right, just have to replace him. Don't keep having windows where you've still not signed that freaking left winger or a backup for Odegaard, and then on top of that, Kivior leaves and have to, because it's just 3 players, 4 players, 5 players. It's not acceptable. It should now be at that level where we need 1 or 2. And I'll use another scenario, which I've already said. If we had fully maximised windows and completed them under Arteta and the Kroenkes, guess what, Arsenal fans? Even people what just obsessed with Arteta and don't like the way we speak, we could have actually got Alexander Isak this window, because we could have gone all in. We could have had a plan and says, right, we've got 200 million to spend. We know what we need. We've got example. We've got to sign a third centre back. Let's say that's Mosquera. Right, but we now have a left winger, got the right wing, got backup for Saka, got a backup for Martinelli. Got this. So I'm saying, if we'd have fully maximised windows and completed 1 window with Arteta and the Kroenkes, We could have this window says, right, let's do that. We know what we need to spend. We're going to spend about 30 million, 25, 30 million on a defender, just a third centre-back to help Gabriel and Saliba take the pressure off. But we've got around about 170 million to throw at Isaac if we need it. We are in a position now as Arsenal Football Club, we can go all in and go full throttle with Isaac. We'll probably go with 150 straight away or 140. And we probably could have got Isaac this window for 170 because that's now what we should have been doing with how long Mikel Arteta's had, because he's wasted so many fucking windows. We're still needing to sign 6 players in one window. So if anyone thinks that is acceptable and that's what the level we should be at with Mikel Arteta approaching his 6th year, then please tell me, because factually, it's wrong. He should not be needing that many players in one window. Wasted a January, 0 activity. Wasted summer, we're signing Mourinho and Calafiori when it should have been a striker and a backup for Saka. Even in summer, last summer, that could have been, we could have got Isaac and then got a backup for Saka in January, but nah, not this club, because there's no pressure above on Mikel Arteta from Josh Kroenke or Tim Lewis, Richard Garlick. It's just embarrassing. It really, really is. And I'm hoping things start changing with Berta. I want Berta to fall out with Arteta. I really do. I don't want Mikel Arteta as this manager at Arsenal Football. He's just an stubborn, smug prick, an arrogant twat. I don't even like him as a person no more, and I've never really said that about a footballer. Right, let me just read some of these. Peppermint Freedom. Yep, I heard it earlier. They have booted these top gooners out the stadium. Absolutely, Peppermint. 100% Peppermint overlap. Yep, that's the one. Peppermint, I think you're bang on, Rich. Thank you, my friend. Peppermint Tottenham fan was even answering questions. I know, man. Even when Peppermint, that just makes it worse, doesn't it? And I mean, very worse. Like to him, I'm too young. I don't know. I'm too young. That's the type of fan we've attracted. That is embarrassing to hear that. I swear to God, especially even a Tottenham fan answering. It don't matter to him. He's not bothered. He's not bothered. We don't turn up to FA Cups and get to FA Cup finals. He's not bothered about that. He's not bothered with it. You don't see those and feel those vibes, winning the trophy end of season, winning the Premier League. As long as he gets those followers on his social media and that video goes viral, that's all he's bothered about. People like that. Peppermint Freedom. Why do Man City not have their version of Top Gooners? Because the owners do not stand for it. No, absolutely. Caladun, Mordun, Barrick. I know I'm close to his name, but I don't know if I'm getting it right way around. But Caladun, Mordun, Barrick, CEO/chairman of Man City, his standards, absolutely awesome. Why not? Hope you're well. Why not? Good to see you, my friend. No striker. No striker. Why not? Still getting close to August. June, wasted. No striker, Arsenal Football Club. 3 seasons in a row, still no striker. July, getting close to being over. Still no striker. But why not? We are told. Brilliant window. Everything's perfect. 8 out of 10 apparently at the minute. 3 out of 10 for me. 3 out of 10. Peppermint, big up, why not? Good settings, good to see. Why not? Big up PMF, good to see. YNWA, you are the most honest fan. So refreshing. Listen to YNWA, big up to you, my friend. Good to see you in the chat. Well, I mean, there's other people out there as well. YNWA. I just don't want to make things up. I'm saying what, perfect example, and I've probably said this 4 times now already. If your manager stands there on the final game of the season when you literally are 1 game away from winning the league and you don't win it, and all the people all over the world, fans from other clubs say, if Arsenal had a striker, if they just had a striker, they ain't got a striker. If they had a striker in those games against Villa, Fulham, Everton, I think West Ham won as well, they would have won the league, probably. They would have just got that extra little bit of touch and that magic. And then your manager stands there as the audacity, Mikel Arteta, as the audacity, not me standing on Emirates, our manager stands there as the audacity to say, do not be satisfied with second. We want much more, and we're going to get it. Here we are, still not even reaching Wembley, still not won a Premier League, still not got to any final since you said it, and still to that day, you absolutely stubborn, smug prick, where the hell is our striker at our football club? That's not made up. That is what has happened, and that is what Mikel Arteta has said and hasn't done. Not all in. We just don't. He's not the one who ticks everything off and right. But he knows he is in charge of that team, and for God's sake, it's not rocket science that Arsenal Football Club needs to try. Every game you watch last season, pre-match, pundits. Do you think Arsenal still lack that killer touch up top? Yeah. I just don't know why they didn't sign a striker. I don't get it. They need a. It's crying out for a striker. Start at game. Commentators have a little bit of talk. Do you think it goes back to window? Where they just didn't maximise and get that. Yeah, I just don't get it. You can see in games this season where they've not had a striker. Post-match pundits. Well, I'm not even going to mention no names. Goes back to no striker, doesn't it? Just falling short. Yeah, it's. I just don't get it. You can see it. These games. I'm just. Our pundits are talking. By the way, I'm not as I'm saying it at the moment. Just what I'm hearing every game. Yeah, it just goes back to no striker. Commentators, pundits, fans from all over clubs. Everybody knows Arsenal Football Club need a striker. And here we are, approaching August, fly out to Asia tomorrow, and we still don't have a striker at this football club. And we've been given like a gold ticket. It's like we've been given a pot of gold, people. You've got Victor Gyökeres, one of the best strikers on the planet right now. He's shouting from the Premier League, get this deal done, Arsenal, and we're still not doing it. And Sunday night, we were told we're closing in. So then I'm thinking, right, I'm hearing it, get ready. Tuesday, I'm going to see Gyökeres in an Arsenal shirt. Nah. This club kill the excitement when it comes to transfers. They literally take the piss. Like Peppermint, it's like a big FU to the fans, what they're saying. You want a striker? Nah. We'll probably get one. But we'll make you wait. We're not bothered. We'll make you wait. They're not bothered. They don't care. They're charging people £10 to watch friendlies. Yeah, I'm sure it used to be £5. Everton were charging nothing. So Everton's games are free on their streaming, on their website. Arsenal's even put £5 extra on that now. This club are not bothered about the fans like they say they are. And it's facts. Peppermint, sizable portion of City fans were saying Pep out last year. Rest of them said he's gone. He's got one more year. This is what I mean, Peppermint. Absolute genius of a manager. One of the best managers ever. And now Man City fans are starting to think, has he gone a step too far? Is it time to pull the plug? And on that one, I'm 80% confident Enrique becomes Man City's new manager. I think if he's that good a manager, well, I don't think he is that good of a manager. He's going to think, right, let me have some of that and try Senate Premier League. And I think he's going to. I think if he's coming to Premier League, he's going to be Man City's next manager. Why not? Window is going great. Made no sense to get business done. June, I was being greedy, searching for a dopamine hit. So I was told the signings aren't for me, or the fans they will get done. God. I'm just going to read it again. Windows going great. Made no sense to get business. Oh yeah. No, made no sense to do anything in June. Why not? Not like get everybody ready in training, from the first day. Get used to the language, get used to the training methods, get used to the weather. But you tell that to these fans that are obsessed with Arteta and just back everything the club does and Arteta does. Oh, no. It doesn't matter if you sign anyone in 1st of June or end of July. So what about the training methods, the weather, language? Oh, you're negative. You are. Honestly, they're an embarrassment. They're an embarrassment to our club. Not all, because some are 50-50, but there's some what are literally obsessed with Mikel Arteta in every single way. There's a guy on Twitter, and he's like that. And he's got, that's just his profile picture, just like that. And the things I see, posting pictures of players with their wives and stuff, like a bit weird pictures, you know, like where they're cuddling or something and they might have got the tops off or whatever. He'll post pictures like that. Or with a kid, what's might not have a top. Very strange person. Very. And he's blocked me, of course, because you call him out. Why NWA? How is the Gyökeres situation looking like? Why NWA? Typical Arsenal fashion, my friend. Told we were closing on Sunday. By Monday night, the deal looks like it could have collapsed. Arsenal apparently need to reach 8.6 million, as I last heard. It could have changed now, in add-ons to close the deal for Sporting Lisbon. But in typical Arsenal fashion, we're probably offering 6 million in add-ons. So, yeah, we're probably about 2.5 million short to reaching the add-ons package, to completing the package. But this is what Arsenal do. YNWA. You know, Liverpool, City, they won't do stuff like that. And big up to you as well, YNWA. I mean, you know, looks like you're going to get Ekatike. And I think you, like Chris Welsh, always in chat, knows his stuff about Liverpool. He thinks you're going to get Rodrigo, and I can see Rodrigo coming because he can play left wing and right wing, and Chris mentioned it, which we always forget. Well, I do sometimes. AFCON, African nations. When Salah goes to their AFCON with Egypt, Rodrigo is perfect to fit to cover him. Let me read some more of these. Why not? Yes, City don't have top blue mutants. Their fan base is the opposite to ours. 5% losers. Everyone else holds the standards. Unlike ours. Yeah, Chelsea, same and all. They call it out. Peppermint, good shout, Rich. Enrique will want to do another treble if he does it in England. He ends up in the GOAT. Yeah, absolutely he will. Yeah, if he comes to Premier League and does that, absolutely he's going to go down as one of the best. Why not? We are 5% standards, 95% losers, and enables absolutely. You know, Peppermint. Oh, is that the African Gooner mutant? Well, African Gooner, you know, he kind of does call it out sometimes, and he will go in against the club. And obviously, I don't know if you've seen him, but he's on one of my favourite channels with Dan Potts, what does the roundabout. I love that. I think it's brilliant. We know with Lee Gunner, DJB, Kenny Ken, obviously Dan, the host. They've now got Christian on it all the time. Is it D? I think it is. I do like that. Shane Gooner, you know, they all go on it. I think it's a brilliant show. I think it's brilliant. Lasts sometimes go about 2.5 hours. But you know, he goes on it sometimes. He does go on it sometimes, African Gooner. And I don't know what to. I think he's a decent guy. Like, he's better. He's even calls African Gooner does call like Eagle out, etc. He has a go at Eduardo Twatton /Egan on Twitter. I've seen him, you know, questioning him. So African Gooner is a bit better than others, but I don't know. I don't know because I don't know. But I think African Gooner's okay-ish, but he is sometimes saying things like, I think he said Windows an 8 out of 10. Well, it's not. It's not, because looking at our front line, it's shambolic. It's this Saka right now. I've got to repeat myself so many times tonight. Sorry, guys, but Saka right now is Arsenal's biggest threat. He is our biggest threat right now in our attack. So please, someone, even if someone comes in chat, tell me why we should believe in this club and this manager when right now Bukayo Saka is Arsenal's biggest threat and he is a right winger. We have neglected and not addressed that front line for so long. We are playing catch up massively. We still need a left winger what's going to score goals. Gyökeres, we know we need him desperately, and we still need Eze. We need a player to back Martin Odegaard up and preferably take Martin Odegaard out of this team. Because if Odegaard plays like he did last season, we're in shit. We've got a massive problem, and he should not be our captain. It should be Gabriel or Declan Rice, and then I would go to Saliba. And Saliba's my favourite player. Peppermint, or is that the African Guna move? I mean, like I said, he can be decent. Peppermint, I can't have these smug guys on Dan Potts' show. Yeah, there is some. Christian can be quite smug, and when they're disrespecting sometimes, like DJB, who's been around Arsenal over and over and over again. Been a fan for that long, and brilliant guy. And I am going to be doing when we can. I will be jumping on his channel when I can. And my laptop is going to be set up soon. It's arriving tomorrow. So, yes, can't be on my phone much longer, guys. I've got some better things coming. I'm still new to it all. So, yeah. We've got Adams Adu. Big up, my friend. Good to see you. Hope you're well in the chat. Please smash up the likes and subscribe if you already haven't. We all waiting for the. Here we go. We are, Adams. But in Arsenal fashion, my friend, it takes ages. We were meant to be signing him. We were closing in on Sunday night. We was closing in on Victor Gyökeres on Sunday night. Next minute, this is what happens at Arsenal. Bang. Bring you back down to reality. Monday night, the deal looks like it could collapse because Arsenal's not willing to reach around about 8.6 million for the add-on fee what Sporting want. Even though Gyökeres, his contract doesn't finish till 2028 or 2027, one of the best strikers in the world, been the best player at Sporting for 2 years, definitely been the best player in the league. They're going to try and ask for anything. It'd be different if Arsenal were trying to keep Saliba from Real Madrid. You think Arsenal, but let's see if we can, find some of these agent fees. Arsenal will be trying to squeeze every single bit of money they could out of Real Madrid. Well, you need to pay an extra 12 million. Would Top Gooners be like, no, Arsenal, don't charge them that, don't charge them that? They'd be asking for loads, as much as they could get out of any club when it comes to Saliba leaving. Because he is. No trophy this season, Saliba's gone. And we need to hope as well, just before I read some of these comments, we need to hope that Real Madrid don't let Vinny go to the Saudi league because they are going to get around about 300 million for Vinny. And they could literally just say to Arsenal, there's 100 million for Saliba. When it touches next summer, he'll have 1 year left in his contract. Saliba right now is worth about 100 million, maybe even 110. 90 to 110, I would say. But next summer, that 90 to 110, that's 50 million, people. That's 50 million, chat. So Saliba's my favourite player. I've watched all his loans back at Saint Etienne. Then he went to Nice. Then he finished his loans at Marseille. But if we got offered even 90 million for William Saliba this window, because if Florentino Perez calls him, he's going to go. And he's a massive fan, Real Madrid president of Saliba. If we got offered that, even me, as an Arsenal, as a William Saliba fan, who is my favourite player for this club and has been since he's literally started with us, I would say if we got offered 90 million, take it. Because I know what Real Madrid will do. They will bully, they'll wait and think, right, you don't want to take it. We'll just wait till next summer. We'll come back in. We'll offer you 50 million. And then literally you're thinking, we've made hardly nothing on him. And yet again, Arsenal are shit at selling players. Signed him for 27 million, people. If we got offered 90 million, that's just a wild scenario. Because I look at things from all angles. Like not all these other Arsenal top gooners, and these Arteta obsessed fans, they don't see other scenario. They don't think, what if that does happen? What if, like, Real Madrid do sell Vinny? Because he wants to stay at Real Madrid, but he's not happy with the wage, what they're offering him. And you know what Saudi can do? They can just blow anybody out of the water. So if he turns around and says, no, I'm not having it, I don't want it. And then from Saudi League, a team comes in and says, puts 250 million bidding for Vinny Jr. Real Madrid will probably just turn around and say, yeah, we can cope. We've got new Garcia up front, that youth guy, from youth. We've got Bellingham, we've got Mbappe, we've got Endrick. Still got Rodrigo at minute. Ardagula, I know he's not a striker. So, you've got to think of these scenarios. And then Real Madrid will think, you know what? We aren't ready to go for Saliba yet, but let's go and get it because we've just been given some money. So that's another scenario. If Saudis come for Vinny and Real Madrid get offered something like 250 or something, they probably could even get 280 for him, then they're going to have a lot of money. Peppermint, right, let me just read some of these comments. Sorry, people. Peppermint, he's not as bad as Igal, but he's still backing this crap, which I don't get. Yeah, absolutely, Peppermint. I agree with my friend. I really do. Right, Gavin L, big up, Rich. Big up, Gavin. Hope you're well. Good to see my friend in the chat. Excuse me. Peppermint, yeah, would like to see you on DJB's Huddle. Yeah, it'd be amazing for me because, what he's seen at Arsenal, I want to have a clue with some of the things. I want to have a clue, what things he's seen, and it's good. It really is good. But like I said as well, guys, I'm still on my mobile phone. I have my laptop's on its way tomorrow. So once I start setting all that up and get a better background, and I seen a laptop, I looked at it and I thought, that's what I wanted. Right, bang, press the button, signed, sealed, delivered. Signing it, and it's all going to be unveiled tomorrow. All done. Not this, let me look at this laptop. Right, it's got that. Yeah, no, I need that. Right, let me think about it for 4 days. Tell you what, let me have a look at it again. Looks all right, that does, doesn't it? Looks quite good. Colour looks good. What shall I do? Yeah, I like that. Tell you what, I'll wait another 2 days. Let me just make my mind up. Do I need a laptop? Shall I get a laptop? Of course I need a laptop. It's going to be better for me instead of just like out on a phone. Will it benefit my channel? Hopefully. Okay, I'll wait another 3 days. Let me just think about it. Nah. Seen that laptop, found the one I wanted. Within about 20 minutes, boom, got it, because it's an investment in myself. Yes, I wasn't sure, and I kind of been thinking, no, I needed one. Do you know what I mean? But I'll wait in a little bit, and then I kind of got a bit of advice, what I need, etc. Because I've got no clue. I've not used a laptop in about 12 years. So I just thought, right, that's the one I wanted. I've been told by Grok, I was told. So I kind of thought, there we go. Looked at it and thought, this morning, right, I know which one I need. I know where to get it from. Had a little look around. Bang. Amazon, done. Signed, sealed, delivered. Peppermint, yeah, would like to see you on DJB's order. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, it's an honor. It is not like, for me, that's an honor to be with someone like Kenny Ken, Matty Sunguna, Jez is Arsenal, DJB, Shane Guna. There's loads, man. There's loads. Peppermint, with a guy like that, you just sit and listen and take in the wisdom. This is it, Peppermint. But you know what? They're pricks, make a mockery about. Yeah, so it's just all a laugh for them. They'd rather talk down to what you on about, DJB? What you on about? How dare you? Like Jez living round near Ivory and that. These are proper Arsenal fans. What's seen a lot. Peppermint, I hear you signed a new laptop from Amazon. What phase is Rich 99 Arsenal in? Well, do you know what, Peppermint? I thought, F to your phases. F to your process. I need it. It's my striker. It's my finishing piece to my team. Bang. I'm signing. I heard it calling me from Amazon. As soon as I seen the one I wanted, give me a little wink. And I thought, you know what? Yeah, I'll take you, pal. I'll sign you. Isn't it mad that even with even making a stupid scenario up about like, laptop. I signed it, signed, sealed, delivered, etc. Because all we're doing all we're doing, and we know what we're doing in the chat. What we're doing, we're just relating it back to Arsenal Football Club. That's all we're doing. Do you know what I mean? That's we're just taking the piss. Me signing, buying a laptop, and kind of like twisting it, making out it's signed, seen that one. We're just relating it to Arsenal. Why we don't do things. Peppermint, like my granddad, proper Arsenal, going since the 40s. I just sit and listen to a guy who's got a more Arsenal than I'll ever know. Yeah, man, it's crazy. And one thing you'll get from me, I will always say, I didn't know that. And you could say something from 5-6 years ago, and I'm thinking, nah, I can't remember, And I will say this, and I don't know if this is how do I word this? From what we've seen on social media just lately, with this new era under Arteta, and all these nicey nice and win the dog and all this crap, and the type of fans you've attracted, you kind of lose the love for your club sometimes, because you think, I don't want to be associated with those people. They're kind of like following my club, and it kind of gets you, I won't say down, but it kind of changes your mood to the club. Like sometimes I blank things out about the history of like the 3-4 years ago with Arsenal, and yet I remember against Sheff Wednesday when they were losing 1-0, and it was a weeknight game, Monday Night Football, which were on Sky. There were no record back then or at school, and we were losing. And I thought, well, I've got school in the morning, I have to go to bed. So tape the match on the old VHS, gets up, and I remember my mum, obviously, she would have taped it, and she knew score. And she says, oh, you'll like it. And I always remember that. And I'm like, you didn't know. You could just go online and just check. You know what I mean? And I thought to myself, fair enough. So I remember getting home from school, I think it was, that night, and watching the whole match again. And Arsenal were losing to Sheff Wednesday. And I thought, oh, man. And yet we won 4-1. Ian Wright scored that trick and David Platt scored 1. And on that night, an absolute Arsenal beast / legend made his debut. Signing from AC Milan around about, let's say, 3 to 6 million, Patrick Vieira made his debut on that night. I remember him coming on and thinking, well, he's just a mountain. He's a beast in the middle of that park. He made his debut. And, the head down, Mark Overmars, putting it through Schmeichel's legs, 97-98, a Saturday morning game. I remember having my hair cut at someone's house over the road who was an Arsenal fan as well, and it was on in their kitchen. I love memories like that. And it's, Smudger against Parma, Niam, was it Real Saragossa where he lobs David Seaman? Niam, I think it is Niam for Real Sociedad. And the new era, kind of like what we're under now. We know this manager with Kroenke. I don't know about anyone else in chat, but I start to I've kind of lost a few memories of what the club's done. Especially in this era with Arteta and the Kroenke, because I have at times took like a dislike and think, I don't want to be a part of these fans, what I see on Twitter. I try to not let it bother me, but I think, how are you and how do you deserve all these followers when you are lying factually? Excuse me. And I just couldn't do that. I just could not do that. Lie to get followers. I couldn't. No, like, I could make a thumbnail and it could say, could have signed him now. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Obviously, while I've been on 1 hour and 39 minutes. But my thumbnail tonight, which I did make yesterday, I could have said, Arsenal signed Gyökeres, and made a thumbnail for, tonight, and just said Arsenal signed Gyökeres, and people would be like, Have they? Checking everywhere. No, they haven't. They haven't. But people do this, and Goats. Good to see you, my friend. How are you? Hope you're good, pal. Remember, Goats, last night we were talking about this, mate. We're on about like our people just with the thumbnails say Arsenal sign Gyökeres, but they haven't. Do you know what I mean? They have not. So it's just a shame that social media is like that sometimes. Like Eduardo Hagen, 400,000 plus followers on Twitter. Why though? Like I don't get it. Why? And like we were talking last night, Goats, because lies sticks. You know what I mean? Bullshit gets followers. But why does it have to be like that? Why does it have to be like that? Why can't people see, like, when Hagen posts things about he don't want Gyökeres, it's all Sesko, don't want Gyökeres, and next minute he's posting pictures of Gyökeres in a suit, anything he can grab, any picture he can find with Gyökeres, he's posting it. And I just think to myself, what a world we live in, that you have to lie to literally get there. It's bullshit. It really is. And you're not going to see that from me. You're not. Even if I get off this stream now and I see Arsenal are closing in on Gyökeres, and I did made a thumbnail and did a live, say tomorrow, and it was still at that point, Arsenal's closing in on Gyökeres, like literally very, very close. You're not going to see me with a thumbnail saying Arsenal sign Gyökeres, but I guarantee you some other people will, and that just ain't me, because he hasn't signed. You know what I mean? It was close on Sunday. It was closing in on Sunday, and everyone was getting good vibes, thinking brilliant. But he hasn't signed for Arsenal. He's not there on social media with a shirt. So why do people lie and say, like, yes, he's signed? Because he has not. And it's a shame that people they get brainwashed by it, and they're vulnerable, and they get sucked into it. But that's just not me, and I'm not ever going to do that. I'm never going to do that. Yeah, Goats, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you in the chat. I'm going to do about another maybe 15 minute, I think about another 15-minute chat. Big up everybody as well who's joined tonight. Hope you've been smashing the likes and subscribing. What we got here? Oh, Goats, 4 subs from 400. Can I get that 400 tonight? Can I get it before midnight? I don't know. Joking. It is embarrassing. Joe, hope you're well, my friend. Good to see you. Where are we now? Peppermint. My granddad was in a pub down King's Cross when the Arsenal were celebrating a league title. Might have been 91. They had the trophy in the pub, so he nipped out with it when they weren't looking. Oh wow, what a story that is. Yeah, well, I mean, I wasn't a fan at 91. Peppermint, my friend, I was 90. My first memory, that what you think, wow, was kind of like the Sheffield Wednesday Coca-Cola Cup, kind of, where we had to play him in a replay, with broken nose kind of thing, Ian Wright scoring. I think Chris Woods were in net for Sheff Wednesday. That's kind of like my first, what's the word? Celebration memory kind of thing, with the Sheff Wednesday, with the Coca-Cola Cup. On the Saturday we played them. I even remember where I was that Saturday. I was in a place shopping, obviously a young lad, trying to find a suit for my cousin's wedding. It's crazy how you just, how you remember things like that, where you were, what you were doing. It's mad. Joe King, remember when the club said we couldn't sign big players because we didn't have Champions League? What is their excuse? Joe, my friend, this is what we keep saying. You didn't say that. I didn't say that. Peppermint didn't say that. People in my chat didn't say that. This is what the club said. This is what Mikel Arteta said. But when we mention it, you're negative. You can't say that. Just relax, man. What you on about? You're always negative. Just be patient. It is embarrassing. It really is. We say things what we have heard from the club or Arteta or Josh Kroenke. Josh Kroenke, well, yeah, how we just want to get better next season. When I heard him say that, I'm thinking, just want to get better. Just want to get better. So basically, you're just saying, instead of finishing 10 points behind Liverpool or Man City or whoever, we'll chop it to half and we'll finish 5. Honestly, there's so many things, and there's going to be big problems coming to this club. If we're out of title race by October, Saliba's head's like that. I'm out. I'm going. I want to start. You're not going to keep me at this club and keep being a nearly team and nearly FC. I need to be winning trophies. And then Bukayo Saka, where apparently he's never going to leave Arsenal. No. He's going to think, I'm not going to keep going to international duty and having the likes of Foden, Bellingham, other players. Won this, bro. Won this. Won Harry Kane now. Won this. It's an amazing feeling winning trophies. Because they talk. Of course they talk. They banter to each other. And yet Saka, won an FA Cup. Kind of that's it. He's not going to keep putting up with that. I tell you that now because he's too good to it, not winning trophies. Declan Rice will get fed up with it after a bit. And Saliba's got a ice cold aura about him. He's not going to keep standing for that. Being on international duty with Camavinga, Tchouaméni, Mbappe, and listening to him boast about all his trophies, what it's like at Real Madrid. The player, he's going to think, I want that. Because at Arsenal, I just feel like we're just not getting nowhere. We've tried, we've built a decent team, but that's it. I want out. I need, and that's how I think Saliba thinks. Just with him, not preferably, just with Saliba specifically. I think that's how he is. He's like, I'm bored of this, man. Just get me out, man. I've done with this shit. I need to be winning trophies because he deserves to be. He deserves to win trophies. Joking. Peppermint, don't think the lads notice as they'd have been 15 pints to eat by then. Well, absolutely, Peppermint. But just even stories like that, just nipping out. I mean, my God, joking. The soul of the club never left Highbury. I got to go to Highbury once when we smashed Wimbledon 5-0, and I think it was Christopher Wray scored. One of the greatest midfielders I've ever seen in the Premier League, Emmanuel Petit, he scored. It was his first goal. Nicholas Anelka scored, I think. Mark Overmars and Dennis Bergkamp. But I think Tony Adams might have scored, so it might have been Adams instead of Bergkamp. But it was 5-0. And that's the only time I got to go to Emery. That's the only time I got to go to Highbury. But I remember when I was there, I had Dutch fans behind me, and obviously they were supporting Mark Overmars and Dennis Bergkamp, and it was just amazing. Like, it was closed, you know what I mean, and it just looked Arsenal. It just looked. Just looking back now, I can even picture it. With I had the JVC zip-up jacket on, the big puffer coat with the JVC with the A on the back. I mean, it just, when we haven't even brought a title to the Emirates Stadium, it really does get you. It really does. It really does. And not even reaching Wembley. Anyone what says getting to Wembley, it's just a day out. It's not really that important. It is to me. Excuse me. It really is to me. It really annoys me that we don't get to Wembley. That day out when everybody's watching that team on that telly. Oh, yeah, it's FA Cup final day. Let's get ready. Buzzing all week. Weather's always red hot. And all we do is watch the other two teams. That's all we do. We don't win trophies. We don't get to finals. Peppermint. Back then, the players were normal blokes you could meet in the street, absolutely, or down the boozer. Yep, absolutely, Peppermint, I imagine. Joe King, Ray Parlour. Ray Parlour's FA Cup winning goal was a great memory. Joe King, just probably let me know. Against Chelsea, you mean? That screamer where it went in top corner? I think you mean that one. Joe King, we had the smallest pitch in the league. I remember all the fuss about Olympic size pitch. Yeah, I mean, Highbury was tiny, man. It was. It's like you feel like you're playing like a little Sabutio kind of pitch. Yeah, Ray Parlour smashed it. I remember that. The Romford Pele. So I went. I'm going to wrap this up in about 5 minutes. I went on holiday. I think it were in Mallorca and family holiday. And there were these guys. Yeah, Peppermint. Thank you for joining chat. Great to see you, my friend. Some great points as well, and some history kind of talk. Good to see you. Take care. I went on holiday and I think it was at Mallorca, and there were family holiday, and there were these group of lads on the other side, older than me, and me being me, I just had a football at my feet. I was playing around with, in the hotel, running around hotel with football, and got talking to them and that. And I think there were 6 of them, and they're all talking. And now I still don't know to this day. That's the frustrating thing. I don't know to this day. And I thought, he looks familiar. And honestly, I thought, looks like Ray Parlour. He looks like Ray Parlour. His name was Danny. Excuse me. And after a bit, obviously our Arsenal mad, got talking. I says, yeah, I'm Ray Parlour's brother. And I didn't believe him at first, you know what I mean? And obviously back then there were no social media, could not check anything, nothing. And I was like, I don't know. Ray, and I think he was telling me his mate saying, yeah, he's Ray Parlour's brother. But they obviously could always be in on that because he did look like him. And, a lot of people could be, who his mates were, could have always been like ready to back him up. And that might have been like their prank or whatever. But he said he was Ray Parlour's brother, and he looked like him. Now, I don't know if Ray Parlour's got a brother called Danny, but he did look like him. And I was on holiday, and he was there. So I'd still, to this day, I don't know if it was Ray Parlour's brother or not. I really don't know. On that one, people, I am going to wrap this up. Thank you very much for smashing the likes and subscribing and joining in the chat, guys. Some new people I've seen tonight, some twats and dickheads, just talking bollocks, immature crap. Just not going to tolerate that. Yeah, but some new people in chat, what's turned up, I think. I'm getting close to that 400, but yes, thank you very much, chat. And the laptop and new setup will start happening very soon, not straight away, but it's going to start happening. And everybody take care. And I would say keep checking the news with Arsenal, but it'll probably be closing in. Then this 2 days pause. No, we're not going that extra 1 million. We're not going that extra 1 million. We need 8.6, but we're stopping on, let's say, 7 million. We're stopping. Next minute, we're getting closer. We need 500,000. Yeah, you can predict this club. You really can predict this club. And it's crazy that we signed 5 players, guys. 5 players, chat. Arsenal Football Club signed. And we should all be very happy. And you know what? The biggest news of this summer transfer window up to yet for me is Ethan Nwaneri signing a 5-year contract. On that one, right, let me just read this before I go. Yeah, Peppermint. Anyway, Rich, I'm going to head to bed. Big up. Yeah, big up, Peppermint. Great to see you again. Like I say, some great points, like I mentioned. Joking, with a face like Ray's, it would be hard to pull off faking being his brother. Yeah, it could have been Joe. I don't, like I say, back then, mate, I couldn't have just gone, as I look on that social, nothing there, man. Joking, 40 million and £1. Yeah, exactly. That just shows Arsenal Football Club all over. We're famous for that. We're famous for that stupidity, pathetic bid. And obviously that were under Arsene Wenger. And we had a chief negotiator at that time called Dick Law. Thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your night. And we fly to Asia tomorrow. Still no striker at this football club. 3 seasons gone. Heading into the 4th season. No striker at this football club. With Bukayo Saka, Arsenal's biggest threat. Everybody, thank you very much. And please smash likes and subscribe if you already haven't.